This one's going to be harsh, but it's important. And what this one's got to deal with is the fact that correcting severe misunderstandings is hard work. It takes experience and ability. It takes practice having corrected misunderstandings. It involves giving up time. It involves giving up concern and care. And for this reason, in the same way as a lot of people know better than to do free work for someone else's value. I mean, it's different if you're trading work, if you're practicing work, it's one thing. But if somebody comes to you and just says, hey, do this labor for me, and I will give you nothing in return, people know better. That's not a good way to spend your time. But quite often what happens is people will come to us with severe misunderstandings, severe confusion, sometimes, especially online, and strangers at that, in a hostile way. That they're not just wrong about it, they're aggressively wrong about it. And here's the thing, clearing up their misunderstanding is work. It's labor. It's literally the work of a teacher or professor, or depending on their level of attitude, of a babysitter. And so you got to figure out, what would your rate be to fix this person's problem, to allow their problem to become yours, because in a way, that's the nature of service work, allowing their problem to become yours. And what we immediately start to notice in doing this is, okay, well, even if you want to teach as a volunteer, even if you want to give back, even if you want to do some good, two things immediately become problematic. First of those is that if they're coming at you in a hostile way, and they're a stranger, and you've got no further context from before this interaction about this person, well, they're not going to listen to you anyway. They're not going to be receptive to it. They don't actually want your help. They're deeply satisfied with their aggressive level of misunderstanding. And while it's important for someone to fix that, maybe, it can't be you, they won't let you. Secondarily, if you were to choose how to allocate your available energy to volunteer, to teach for its own good, would you choose necessarily to prioritize those people who are A, strangers, and B, rude and aggressive towards you? Who have that, again, hostile level of misunderstanding? And probably not. Right? If we made a list for who would you choose to give that volunteer time to, I don't know, maybe you might, some years ago I used to volunteer at a shelter every weekend to teach. There were people there who I knew were maybe at-risk youth that I could help. This is something where maybe you want to volunteer with high schools, something that I still do. Go out and visit high schools, try to help them out. Kids that are in a learning mode. Maybe it's something you want to help people in your community, go to a community workshop center. There's all kinds of ways that you can volunteer to help clarify people's confusions who are receptive to it, who actually want to be helped, who aren't coming at you aggressively. And then, by all means, volunteer, do some pro bono teaching. Help people with their misunderstandings, help them build their skills. But the way this doesn't usually happen is if somebody comes at you with a comment, with a tweet, with a just email, out of the blue, with deep misunderstanding, you can't bring that on. Again, it ultimately generally won't actually help them either. They're not receptive to it. It's probably not the best place or way for you to be allocating that energy to be ultimately constructive towards anyone's benefit, let alone yours. And the frustration is going to cost you failing to help someone who doesn't want to be helped. And that's ultimately going to allow you to better prioritize your time to get better results out of whatever it is you're doing, which might be teaching, helping clarify people's confusions. It might be clearing up misunderstandings. But it can be better allocated, better concentrated, better put on a path, better put into a structure, and achieve much more net good than if we let ourselves get weighed down by everyone on the internet who's hostile and wrong, of which there are, unfortunately, for any given field, plenty. Respect your time. Know that it's worth something. Don't give up free labor, especially to people who are rude to you.